I am 93 years old, and I am going to tell you something that took me 8 decades of living, loving, and losing to finally understand. Most of the people in your life right now are not really in your life. They are just nearby. And there is a difference between those two things so enormous that once you see it clearly, you will never unsee it. I have buried more friends than I can count. I have watched relationships dissolve after 80, the way sugar dissolves in warm water, quietly, completely, until there is nothing left but the faint memory of something that used to be sweet. And what I found when the crowd finally thinned was that every person still standing could be sorted into exactly three kinds. Three. After 93 years, it comes down to three. And which kind you choose to keep close will determine almost everything about the quality of whatever years you have left. Before I tell you about the three kinds, I want to say something to those of you watching right now. Every week I come here and say what I genuinely believe. No performance, no script someone else handed me. Just one old man telling you what 93 years of living actually taught him. If that has ever meant something to you, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon right now, because the next video might be the one that changes how you see something you have been carrying for years. And if you are not subscribed, you are going to miss it. I have watched too many people miss things that were right in front of them. Do not be one of them. Now, the three kinds. The first kind I call the warmth keepers. These are the people whose presence makes something in your body relax before your mind even registers why. They do not perform their love for you. They simply are warm, consistently, as a baseline, and being near them costs you nothing and gives you everything. You can go 3 months without talking and pick up the phone and be back inside the relationship in the first 30 seconds as if no time passed at all. They do not keep score. They do not require constant maintenance to stay warm. I have one left. One warmth keeper from my whole long life. His name is Arthur. We met in 1958 when we were both young and foolish. He is 89 now. We talk every Thursday. When my wife passed 5 years ago, Arthur drove 4 hours to sit with me without being asked. He did not bring advice. He did not bring a plan. He brought himself. And that was everything. I think about what my 80s would have looked like without him, and I cannot finish the thought. It is too cold a picture. If you have someone like that right now, I need you to understand what you have is rare. Most people spend their whole lives mistaking proximity for warmth and busyness for closeness. If you know who your warmth keeper is, I want you to think of their name right now. You do not have to say it out loud. Just let me know in the comments. Is there someone? Because I genuinely want to know. The second kind I call the truth tellers. These are different from warmth keepers and sometimes harder to be around. The truth teller tells you what you need to hear rather than what keeps the conversation pleasant. They push back. They say, I think you are making a mistake, and they say it looking you in the eye because they are more interested in your life going well than in you liking them in this particular moment. I had a truth teller for 47 years, a woman named Gloria. Gloria told me once in the middle of a difficult stretch in my marriage that I was choosing my comfort over my honesty, and that the distance I was creating would eventually become permanent. I was furious at her for a week, and then I thought about it, and then I went home and had the conversation I had been avoiding for 6 months. It saved something important. Gloria did that over and over across our whole friendship, and every single time she was right. Gloria passed at 87, and one of the genuine griefs of my late life is that I have nobody left who knows me well enough to tell me plainly when I am wrong. My children are careful with me now. They soften things. They protect me from truths they think might be too heavy. I understand why. But I miss Gloria with a specific ache because what she gave me was not kindness exactly. It was the gift of being truly seen and honestly reflected and still loved anyway. When you find a truth teller, you hold on to them with everything you have. The third kind I call the weight adders, and this is the category I need you to sit with the longest, because this is where most people waste the most years. Weight adders are not bad people. They are simply people whose presence reliably costs you more than it gives you. Every interaction leaves you slightly more tired, slightly more anxious, slightly smaller than before. They confuse obligation with love. They drain without replenishing. And the hard part is that most weight adders at this age are people we have known for decades. Family sometimes, old friends who used to be something else and slowly became this. Here is the honest question I am asking you to ask yourself. Are there people in your life whose calls you dread slightly before you answer? People whose name on your phone makes you take a small breath before you pick up? Because that small breath is your whole body trying to tell you something your loyalty is not ready to hear yet. At 93, I do not have years to spend being drained. I am not being cruel about it. I am being honest. Time is the only currency I have left, and I am very deliberate about where I spend it. And I think you should be too, whatever your age, because the truth is that time was always the only real currency anyone had. We just spend the first 70 years acting like there is more of it than there is. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments, because your answer is going to mean something to somebody else who has not yet found the words for what they are feeling. Which of those three kinds of people do you feel like you have enough of right now? The warmth keeper you need to call, the truth teller you are grateful for, or the weight adder you have been meaning to quietly step back from but have not yet found the courage to do it? Tell me, because more people feel this than ever say it out loud, and sometimes all it takes is one person naming the thing to make everybody else feel less alone in it. The thing nobody prepares you for about this stage of life is that the social world shrinks whether you want it to or not. People move. People pass. People drift in ways that are not dramatic but are nonetheless permanent. And what you are left with is a smaller circle. The question is whether that smaller circle is full of warmth and honesty, or whether it is just full of whoever happened to stay nearby. You get to choose now in a way that earlier life did not always allow. The career obligations are gone. The performing and networking for professional reasons is finished. What remains is yours to curate. And curating it with care is not selfish. It is wisdom. I think about the full table of my younger years sometimes. 40 people at a birthday party. Dozens of colleagues I called friends. And I look at what is left of that table now, and instead of feeling sad about the empty chairs, which I did for a long time, I feel something closer to gratitude for the few chairs still filled. Because the people in those chairs are not there by accident or proximity. They are there because they kept choosing to show up, and I kept choosing to show up for them across decades and losses and long silences. That sustained mutual choosing is what love actually looks like when you strip everything else away. If you have been watching this channel for a while and have not subscribed yet, I am asking you now. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and watch our other videos. We put something real here every week. Something true from someone who has lived long enough to say it plainly. Do not miss the next one. I am 93 years old. I have loved people well and loved people poorly, and lost people I was not ready to lose, and held on far too long to people I should have gently released. And if I could give you anything from this side of a very long life, it would be this. Warmth keepers are worth any effort to maintain. Truth tellers are worth the occasional discomfort they bring. And weight adders, even the ones you have known longest, do not require your whole remaining life as the price of their continued presence in it. Choose carefully. You have earned the right to choose carefully. That is all I have for you today.